So I don't think my fade was long enough. uh, so, hey, Darren, I see that you are definitely in the chat. I was going to try to slide over a little bit so you guys could see. There we go. You can see the blood hook that I put, but I put it when I created that little video. I mistakenly put the blood hook. I should have put it up further. And then Steve said, well, you can do a fade in, but I didn't do enough time for the fade before I popped on there. So um, I'll practice that before we do the next one. Um, but you do get to see the lovely lake background for this one. Even though you're probably more than likely going to be paying attention to the movie we're watching. And the reason why I've got a lake here is because we're doing a watch along for Blood Hook tonight. Um, let's see. It's John, you say it's time to catch some muskies. It definitely is with Bev D. And everybody that has seen Blood Hook surely remembers Bev D. Um, so TJ, you say part two, the double feature has begun. Hi Dana and crew. Hey TJ, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad John's here, Darren's here. I think there's some other people in here. They probably just aren't in the chat just yet, or may not be interested in being in the chat. Um, yes, John, this movie is a great mix of horrible and wonderful. As a lot of these have been, in my opinion, that I've been trying to do watch alongs for. Um, I hope y'all do like the animation in the back. I'm going to try to get some animation, maybe that's a rock stage or something like that, to use for the Rocktober Blood watch along, which, like I said, barring any worsening of my health symptoms happening, I plan to do next Saturday. Um, and I would imagine that Steve's going to do his thing at 6 o'clock again. So I will be right at the end of that, around 7 ish, I'm sure. Hey, Jason. Uh, you never seen this one all the way through, so looking forward to it. Cool. Now, I know Darren has the Blu ray, and this is. I'm not going to clap at these flies, but there's one of those daggone fruit flies that's swarming around me. It's probably after this energy drink. Steve gave me the rest of his ghost, his strawberry bubblicious ghost. Um, but like I was going to say before that fly got in my face, um, Darren told me already that he has the Blu ray of it, and I think this is going to be a first time watch for him. Uh, but he said it was okay if there were some spoilers, it wasn't going to bother him. So I hope if there's some of you others in here that have not seen it and this is a first time watch, I hope I don't spoil anything for you. Um, so I am lazy and don't have my Blu ray and the drive set up and all that. So I'm going to be watching it via YouTube. I have it queued up, so it, I'll tell you where I've got mine queued up so that you guys can hopefully get pretty close. I'm on the screen that says Spider Lake Films Limited Partnership and Golden Chargers Productions present. I'll give everybody a couple minutes to get all queued up for those of you that are going to be watching along with the movie. Um, and you know what I wish? I wish this lake had a muskie that was jumping out. There is a boat there. Um, let's see. Hey, Menelect. John, you say, hey, TJ and Darren. Yo, Carolina. Hey, Texas. Um, let's see. Darren, you say, yes, this is the first film on my new 4K player. Upscale looks really good. Awesome. So, Darren has entered the world of 4K now. That is super, super awesome. I'm really excited about that. So, just let me know, guys, when you get queued up because I don't want to start, until virtually everybody that's in here is queued up that wants to be queued up with whatever version of the movie that they have chosen, whether they've chosen the YouTube link that I put up or they actually have the Blu ray. Um, and we'll go ahead and get started. But like I said, I want to make sure that everybody's pretty well queued up that plans to watch the movie with me. So you can give me a thumbs up in the chat, or you can do like Jason, who says he's ready to go. Um, so I'll just wait for some of the rest of you guys to tell me that. Okay, Darren's queued up. TJ, you say I'm watching it on YouTube, though I got the DVD, Blu-ray, and VHS. LOL, but I'm ready. Okay, so TJ, you're ready. Jason's ready. Darren's ready. Um, I'm taking that means John is ready. Menelect, are you ready? Texas, you ready? Y'all are the ones in, the other ones in the chat. I just want to double check with you before we go ahead and get started. And at that point, when we get ready to start, we'll do the 3, 2, 1, and we'll go ahead and get this party started. Um, so I'll give you guys a minute or two more to let me know, and then we'll go ahead and get started because it is about 11 minutes after 7 right now. I will tell you that I've got some new things up on the Etsy shop, the Morbid Beauty Boutique. So take a gander at those. I've got, the options for the Tenebrae shirt. Again, I was hoping that Dirk would be in here, and he may very well be a little bit later. Because I've got that Tenebrae shirt design ready. All I've got to do is get it uh, on some transfer paper and do the heat transfer press, and with some luck, I should be good to go on that. John, you say, so what is a muskie? Is it like an alligator gar? That's a redneck dish too. Or fish, you said. Um, you know, it did, in the movie, I've seen gars. My dad used to fish for gars. Um, of course, I'm a country girl at heart. I grew up out in the sticks and went fishing with my dad a lot of the time. And so the fish that they are pulling out of the lake in this movie sort of look like gars. So it's possible that they could be in that gar family. Um, so I haven't ever actually looked up what a muskie is or what fish family it belongs to, though. Um, John, you say, yeah, the same. I would catch them a lot when I saw them in the movie. It reminded me of it. I think I was thinking gars were. One time when I was a kid, I went with my dad to like these low lying areas where it had flooded. And I thought gars were the fish that dad actually took a bow and arrow and like shot them. You would watch for them swimming by in the water and shoot them with an arrow. I kid you not. So, John, I wonder if you ever did that. Um, hey, Garrett, you say I like Blood Hook. What's up, Dana? Well, we're just getting ready to get started, Garrett. If you want to watch along, I am watching currently on the version on YouTube. I have it queued up to Spider Lake Films Limited Partnership and Golden Chargers Productions present. I know Darren has got the Blu-ray. Some other people got TJ's got uh, the YouTube link was what he was using. So feel free to to join us and watch along if you'd like. Uh, John, you say you definitely don't want to swim near them. Haha, they've got sharp teeth, but I'd catch them by accident a lot as a kid. Gotcha. I used to always love to go fishing with my dad. A little side story here, real quick. And one time he promised to take me to the creeks, which any country person will know what creeks are. And he said, "Yeah, we'll get up the next morning real early, Dana, and we'll go get our snacks and our soft drinks and all that stuff, and then we'll go out in the creeks in the boat." Well, my dad did not realize that it was going to sleet and be really super cold that next morning. So, but I was up bright and early because I was really excited to go fishing with my dad. And he was still in bed, and so um, I crept into their bedroom and I was like, "Dad, are you ready to go fishing?" He's like, "Oh, Dana, you really want to go fishing?" He says, "It's like 30 degrees out there." But yeah, I wanted to go. And so, Dad, bless his heart, he took me. We didn't fish very long and I didn't catch anything. I think Dad caught a couple of stripers. But yeah, I have a lot of good memories of going fishing with my dad, or our whole family going fishing as well. My mom and my brother uh, going with us as well. Um, so I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. And then if anybody else comes in here a little bit later, then they can try to get queued up with us. Um, so let's see. It looks like we've got about 11 or so in here. So I'm going to do the 3, 2, 1 and hit play. And I'm also going to mute the sound on mine because this is another movie that I've seen so often that I don't really need the dialogue. So everybody ready? 3, 2, 1. Press play. So I think that Spider Lake Films thing is getting ready to go away, and it has. Now it's a David Herbert production of a James Mallon film. And I believe, if I'm thinking right, that James Mallon had something to do with Mystery Science Theater. I'm pretty sure he did. And we're kind of going through, oops, didn't mean to hit my microphone there. We're kind of going through these opening credits here. Yeah, we're still going through some credits. Texas, you say, "I'm just going to listen to you talk about it. Got other tasks I'm doing tonight, including dinner in a bit." Gotcha, Texas. TJ, you say, "Yep, the director worked on Mystery Science Theater. He directed the movie version too. He also did the uh, OG voice of the robot Gypsy." Steve probably could have told me that because he's like, I consider him an expert on Mystery Science Theater. Um, John, you say, "Yo, Garrett, yeah, this is a fun one." Darren, you say, "So how do you rate this one?" Um, I mean, me personally, I rate it, on par with a lot of these others that we've done watch-alongs for. Things like Pieces, of course, are a little bit better in my rating scale. Um, but I still think, Blood Hook hits all those, so bad they're good points. So I really, I like it. So, if we're talking about movies that are so bad they're good, or got so much entertaining stuff in there that you kind of don't notice how bad they actually are. Um, this one ranks up there, right up there near the top of the list if I was to make a list of these. Um, the lift thing is weird, John. I'm sorry if people hear stuff in the background. Steve's watching, I guess he's watching a movie back there. Um, I tend to not have the TV that loud when he's doing things, but he's different than I am. So if you can ignore that, then ignore away. Um, but yeah, I had never seen anything like that either, John. You say, TJ, you say, I showed this to friends last Halloween. I liked it, but it's a bit long in an hour 50. Yes, this is, I always thought that was a little bit long for this type of movie, especially. And now we're 17 years later, where the little boy we had just seen has grown up. He's the one driving. Um, this movie did come out in 1986. And you're going to see like some really unique, I guess would be the best way to say it, characters here. The most normal are the people in the front seat. So the others are kind of a little off in their own little ways. And I'm assuming that these two are together, even though she kind of acts like she doesn't want him to touch her. But I think Steve's back here now. I can't see him because I got my green screen up, but um, and of course, even the guy that's driving is drinking beer. So this definitely does not have a say no to drugs and alcohol.
It's just my head floating, right?
I don't know. We'd have to switch back to OBS here.
Hey, look at I'm just a head.
I can see a little bit of the. Steve's a crazy man.
Oh, it hurts.
What hurt?
My chest hurts.
Oh, Steve has been working out too much, and then his chest hurt. So that's not good.
I think I have a heart attack.
Darren, you say Vinegar Syndrome has done a bang up job with this one. Yeah, they really did.
They're brilliant.
Which is surprising considering. Well, you got to look at the track record of the things that Vinegar Syndrome has put out in the last few years. Okay, now here's one of these super obnoxious families that just kind of want to annoy the locals and annoy this poor man that's got his bait and tackle shop or whatever. Lukey is this guy's name. And the mother, all she wants to do is see loons, and she goes around going woohoo all the time. She is super annoying. The dad is an asshole to everybody pretty much. It's like you could just imagine these people. They probably came from the big city and they're coming out in the country area and they're just annoying the hell out of everybody. I never could understand though when you got these buckets of minnows and stuff like that, why in the hell were the buckets so nasty? Because I remember my dad getting buckets of minnows, and he'd get a fresh bucket of minnows sometimes, and the bucket would be nasty just like that. It's like, what the heck? What did they do to it? Drag it through shit? So there he's giving him that nasty bucket. And Luke, he's trying to, he's trying to be nice to him. He kind of made him a map and all that stuff. And of course, Luke, he's kind of trying to warn them, and of course, they're not going to pay any attention. They're like, okay, we're going to get back into our RV, and, we're going to do whatever the hell we want, regardless of what the locals tell us. Here's a giant muskie, and this is Muskie Madness, and we're going to be introduced to a character that, I mean, although endearing, she seems like over anxious the whole time, and that's Bev D, who's going to show up here shortly. And now that chick's like rubbing all over this guy, and and this Denny Dobbins guy, he's kind of an asshole too. This guy's trying to show off here. And Finner, the guy in the striped shirt, he's going to get out his special rod and reel. And it, believe it or not, it's actually going to have like a handlebar from, it looks like a bicycle. See, he just put that on, it's got a tassel on it and everything. So he really pisses this guy off because he's like, you gotta use a pole like that. He wants him to use his pole. Uh, and you have a lot of little funny things that happen throughout the movie, just like that fish lure going into the guy's coffee cup. And here is the introduction of Bev D. And that's all she's called, Bev D. And she's the hostess for Muskie Madness. And Finner has already taken a liking to her. Um, he must not get a chance with too many girls, I suspect. See, she's very eager. This chick, I don't know. That chick there that just pushed her glasses up, she's kind of annoying. This guy doesn't like anybody pretty much. Even though he worked at one time for the main guy's grandfather, the one that got pulled into the lake at the beginning. Darren, you say, I'm liking the vibe early on, kind of got a Mother's Day feel. Yeah, it sort of does, Darren. I hadn't thought of that till you brought that up just now, but yeah, um, definitely has more, in my opinion, of a early '80s feel as opposed to a mid '80s feel. I've never seen anybody carry their rod and reel in something that looks like a poster holder, though. It's not like I did any professional fishing. Okay, so here, here is this guy. This guy's, well, he's obviously crazy, but it appears that he's got an arsenal of like AK 47s and stuff, like assault rifles. Um, But we're going to find out otherwise here in a little bit. And he's literally sitting out there in the wilderness in what appears to be like a chair that, it's a little worse for wear, but a chair that people would maybe have in their parlor or something in these fancy houses. And so the main guy is returning to his grandfather's house, and the guy that seems to hate everybody and this other guy are, I guess, caretakers for it. But who in their right mind would leave these people in charge? I have no idea. And the red-headed chick, or I guess her hair's red. It looks red to me. The frizzy-headed girl. She acts like she's never been in the outdoors at all. You can just tell the way she walks and how she's like, almost like she's going to get a bug on her or something. Uh, and this is the guy that talks, kind of like talking about conspiracy theories and all that. And it looks like he's been drinking his fair share of beer as well, due to all the cans that are all scattered around him. TJ, you say fake old guy on the cheap putting white powder in his hair. Exactly. Darren, you say both traumas, so makes sense. Yep. Ray, you want to know, is this y'all's backup channel? Well, actually, Steve does his stuff on the Dead Pit channel. I do my stuff on my channel. Not really. This is just my separate channel. John, you said the bait and tackle guy has the dirtiest tackle shop ever. Exactly. Maybe that's how the buckets get so nasty. There's this guy again, and like he's like super angry all the time. It's like, and then of course he's getting on his friends because they have to respect other people's things and property and all that. And that looks like a big old muskie that's up on the wall there mounted. And I don't, I kind of don't get this. Why would people, as young as these guys are supposed to be, why would they be really into that music from his grandfather's era? Now you'll notice the guy there with it looks like almost like he's got Christmas lights all over his shirt, but it's the 80s, so but you'll notice that he always has these dangly earrings all the time. So later on, he's going to actually have a fishing lure uh, as his earring, and I think that is just hilarious. So he's walking out here looking at, he's probably remembering back when he was a kid. But this is a beautiful area here. I would love to be there. So he's actually going to get in this lift thing, and yeah, he's remembering back when he was a little boy. There's his grandfather. And it looks like his grandfather has like astroturf or something on his dock. So now they're eating at some kind of restaurant. I have no idea what this chick is dressed in right now. The frizzy headed chick. She looks like she ought to be in the Walk Like an Egyptian video. I guess I got to keep in mind that this was the 80s. And it doesn't look like they're eating much of anything. They're drinking more beer than anything, but they've got a big old wooden box of rolls. And it looks like, I don't know if she has fries or what that is. Johnny, you say, it's real boring in Wisconsin when people are getting musky fever. Exactly. They act like it's a gold rush.
Where's that little girl?
I have no idea, Steve. Is she in your chair? So here's this annoying family again eating at the restaurant. And, oh gosh, there she goes with the loons again. I just want to reach through the TV and stuff something in her mouth so she'll quit making those loon noises. Why does this kid look like he's cutting his french fries up? I just want to stab that chick with a fork. Well, now it looks like they all have food, so I don't know. And now it looks like the one chick who's dressed like she ought to be in the Walk Like an Egyptian video. It looks like the stuff on her plate went from being like fries to potato wedges or something. I don't know. I think Reggie's going out again. Reggie has to go out multiple times. So I think they were a little long on this dinner scene because we don't really need to see this annoying family any more than we have to. So I think some things could have definitely been tightened up. Don't you just want to kill this family? I do. So the mom's had enough, and she's going to go and look for some loons or something. And she kept talking about Peter Fonda when she meant Henry Fonda, and her son had to keep correcting her. It's like, why would the son know more about the difference between Henry Fonda and Peter Fonda than his mother? That is very strange. TJ, you say she's the typical trying to be a hip MTV chick from the 80s. LOL. Exactly. Jason, you say, I like the humor so far. Oh, yes. This movie is, in my opinion, chock full of humor. Darren, I don't think Steve is a big fan of this movie. I think he thought I was kind of goofy for buying it on Blu-ray when I did. But Steve, he used to like to watch a lot of different stuff from the 80s, and now I think he's just burnt out on it. And so he would rather watch something else other than these types of things all the time. He always says I'm watching some piece of shit from the 80s or whatever. TJ, I think she did just basically abandon her family, but wouldn't you abandon them? I sure as hell would. They're awful. Yeah, Jason, she's calling to the loon. Yeah, exactly. John, you said the main guy reminds me so much of a nerdier Maynard James Keenan from Tool. John, you say he's like an 80s vanilla Maynard. Jason, you say, oh man, the loony mom didn't make it. No, she bit the dust quite early. Now, this guy is planning on cheating because he's actually raising a muskie and then he's going to act like he just caught it. I have no idea what's going on now. It sounds like somebody's operating a chainsaw. It sounds like they're operating a damn chainsaw in our backyard. So, I'm assuming Steve's in here. So, heck, I don't know. I'm going to get up and peek out there because it sounds like it's in our backyard. No, it must be next door. Okay, whatever. It's like, I swear, I have so many interruptions when I get ready to do something. And so, guys, I do apologize for all the noise, the extra noise, and all of that. It's very distracting. I don't know what they could be sawing up next door, but they need to have the chainsaw. John, you say this movie needed Bill Dance Outdoors to cameo in it. That's an odd reference for many, unless you watch fishing shows as a kid. No, I totally remember Bill Dance, John. So at least one person remembers. I'm trying to, even though you guys are more than likely paying attention to the movie, I'm trying to keep my green screen pretty even. I'm going to switch back to the movie, though, here. So, one thing I will say about this movie, there are a lot of talky scenes that probably could have been tightened up as well. And these aren't like Tarantino level talking scenes. And what in the hell are they doing with these cans of food? Like, are they doing like a taster's challenge or, and I guess back behind them, that's a bunch of spices. I thought I had a lot of spices. That's a whole heck of a lot of spices. So they just basically open a bunch of cans of food up and then they're going to waste them. So I guess he's kind of wanting a music career. Guys, I do apologize for being so distracted, but I'm almost sure that you guys can hear that too as well. My microphone's probably picking all that up. That's one of the unfortunate things that happens when you live in a neighborhood. It's almost never quiet around here. If it's not somebody rip roaring up and down the street, it's somebody with a chainsaw. If it's not somebody with a chainsaw, it's somebody with a weed eater or a lawnmower or whatever. Darren, you say, this is right up my alley. Wish I had checked this out years ago. Yeah, I mean, I was quite a bit delayed on seeing this. I don't think I saw this till after Steve and I were married. I'm pretty daggone sure, and I kept seeing it. I think probably on Steve's hard drive, and so I finally just said, "What the hey? I'm gonna watch it," and I really enjoyed it. So when the Blu-ray came out, of course I had to get it. Texas, you say, should they have gotten Justin Wilson as a hobo? Every movie needs a hobo or a wino. Danny say, be thankful Leatherface isn't outside your front door, lol. Well, it sure as heck sounds like he's out there. Uh, because they'll be quiet and then they start it right back up again. I'm like, what the hell? What are you sawing over there? It's not like we got trees to saw down or anything like that much. See, there it goes again. Um, so I'm going to try my best to ignore it. Okay, so now Finner and the other guy are out here fishing. Oh, and Finner has caught, he ended up catching that guy's great big muskie that he was raising because the other guy came and knocked it over and it swam away. So now Finner caught it. And they're going to meet up with Bev D again here soon. Which at this point in time, I think, well, he's taking a piss off the side of the boat. That's definitely a thing guys do just because they can't. Okay, so now he's got that fishing lure for an earring. I just love it. It's so great. And I keep listening to this, I'm guessing it's like a punk band or something. They keep listening to this one song by this one particular band over and over and over again. That and that I'm going fishing song, that fishing for love song. And there's Bev D. And Bev D is really into physical fitness, evidently. So, like I said before, Finner, the guy in the red shirt, has really taken a liking to Bev D and her striped shorts. It's like, I don't think I'd want that thing with all those hooks in it hanging from my ear. But that is a big old fish. The guy Finner kind of reminds me of a guy I used to work with at the library in IT. But and she just and she just like, here's another thing. She just leaves her child in a playpen and she goes out on a run. It's like, how irresponsible of a parent are you? Darren, you say it don't sound too bad. Well, I'm getting the full on brunt of the sound, so I guess it does probably sound worse to me. Jason, you say Bill Dance is hilarious, John. Yeah, from what I can remember about him, he was. So we're about 31 minutes into the film, and Finner is hanging out more and more with Bev D. And that looks like, oh, here is the band that they keep listening to. Um, they're just obsessed with this and with this particular song. But Bev D is going to get kind of uncomfortable because she says that's her husband's album. And she kind of, nixes that. Okay, so this guy's upset because he knows someone let his fish go because he had put this little hair clippy on the poor fish. Okay, so Bev D's had enough of that. I forget exactly what he's looking for here, or if he's looking for anything. One thing though, people dressed comfortably in the 80s because there was a lot of baggy stuff and, oversized shirts and all that. And I really wish we could go whole hog back into that. Which right now we're in a stage where, and there's the Loon Lady's hat, I think, or something that was hers. Um, we're kind of in an age where it's like wear what you want. So if you want to be retro, then you can be retro, and you can wear stuff from the 80s, you can wear stuff from the 70s, you can wear stuff from the 90s, or whatever you want to do. And because this guy owns his own bait and tackle shop, he can put up the very dirty gone fishing sign at any time and he can just go fishing. And he's not really doing any fishing, he's just out there drinking in the lake. Like, okay, and here she is again exercising, and her child is right near the water. It's like, really? Aren't you worried about your kid drowning? I mean, she does check on him, but it's like there is no way if I had a kid that I would allow that to happen. I'm too much like my mom to be able to do that. But whatever that gunshot or whatever it was on that movie scared the shit out of me. I have no idea what Steve's watching. Probably some movie that he got. Okay, so now here's this big fishing lure that you see, and most of the time when you see that in this movie, it means somebody's going to end up dead. Now, her child did not end up dead, but he ended up getting cut or hooked on the leg. But if that kid had really gotten hooked, I think he would have been screaming his lungs out for a lot longer than he actually did. Yeah, it's obviously a fake the way the way this guy made his hair gray. Reminds me of those old kung fu movies. And he's trying to apologize to the old dude, but I don't think the old dude's listening. Dare you say she's the worst mother ever? Yeah, I definitely agree. And there's been no shortage of bad mothers in some of these horror movies. So yeah. Am I dozing off, Red Red? No. No. No, I'm not actually. I mean, I may have little pauses in between talking about the movie, but this is the way this guy looks here is so hilarious. He's talking about Lukey and the other guy being buds and all that stuff. Red Red asked if I was dozing off, Steve.
Are you?
No.
Get in here.
I don't know. Is that a chainsaw over there?
I don't know what it is. I can't tell. Sounds like a jet.
But don't you just love Lukey's hat there? TJ, you say, I was thinking that old dude's hearing aid was an earring. LOL. I did too at first, TJ. Like when I first watched this, I was like, does that old dude have a earring? And it's like, nope, that's his hearing aid. Um, Jason, you say, weird accent reminds me of Berserker. Yeah, I mean, I've only been up to Wisconsin one time in my life. And a lot of the people I interacted with were not Wisconsin people. I guess they were tourists. But I knew a lady in Hancock County where I'm from, where I grew up at, when I was working for the library system there. She, um, she came to the library quite often to get books, and I believe she was born and raised in Wisconsin and then moved to Kentucky at some point. Yes, oh Curly Jaws, I fully agree with you on this one. This Blood Hook is an all-time classic in my opinion. So I'm gonna switch back to the movie here. There's more Lutke. Yeah, this is almost a 2 hour movie, um, which again is very, very odd considering the time period it was made. And then you got this chick doing the meditation thing. But the other chick would be, I'd be like, will you shut the hell up? Because I'm trying to meditate here and you're being super annoying. She wants to talk about how the guy's kind of peeping at them. And two, she's trying to steal the main guy away from her all the time. It's like, what the heck? What kind of friend are you? And she talks about people being rude. Well, she's rude. Yes, TJ. Oh, Curly Jaws does have taste. Finally. Oh, Curly Jaws, I'm just ribbing you. You still, oh, Curly Jaws, you still think Blood Hook could have been a franchise? That would have been an interesting franchise for sure if they had done that. Yeah, TJ, the theatrical cut was quite a bit shorter. Uh, so I guess what we're watching is like the director's cut or the director's vision. Darren, you say, I love these old 80s slashers. Just when you think you've seen most of them, you get these gems pop up. Yeah, that happens to me all the time because very well think that I've watched all of them, all the great ones that I could have possibly watched. And then, just like you say, another gem pops up. Now, Finner's out running with Bev D. And of course, she's like, come on, I'm just going to take your hat. I'm going to take your Musky Madness hat. But even though this movie is an hour and 50 minutes long, it doesn't really seem that long. And I think that's just because it's chock full of so much humor and entertaining scenes. Uh, so he's alone on the boat. So I'm pretty sure that something's going to happen here soon. It looks like he's got the 86 version of skinny jeans on. That guy needs a tan, I think. He's listening to this song again. Is that or is that not the biggest fishing lure you've ever seen in your life? And like he literally like kneels on it. Oh no. Yeah, he's toast. This looks very painful actually. He's really bleeding a lot too. And then you get this really pretty scene like right after somebody gets killed. So they're outside a place where you can get Mexican specialties, you can get soup and salads. But again, it looks like they're drinking beers. They just don't eat a lot, do they? They would rather drink beer, I'm guessing. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say Blood Hook 2, the hooking, directed by Michael Bay. Jason, you say Platinum Dunes Blood Hook remake. Oh, Lord. John, you say LOL, Curly. Yeah, TJ, ouch. Definitely. John, you said these people in this film are so unoutdoorsy, haha. Yeah, they would never have survived the things that I did in my youth. They would have done been dead. TJ, you said the killer got him some strong upper body strength, huh? Yeah, definitely to do what he did to this guy that we just saw get killed. TJ, you say I'd rather just drink beer, lol. So this cop doesn't take, like, he doesn't, this is like one of the worst movie cops ever. But this is pretty representative of 80s movies and 80s horror movies in particular, the cops in them. They're basically useless. The only thing that would make this cop more useless is if he was just sitting around like on Blood Harvest or something and always wanting to play baseball or whatever and not doing his job. This guy gives the illusion that he's doing his job. Okay, so now we're going to see that these are not really assault rifles. Check this out. They're not even real guns. And I mean, I can understand the cop being disgusted with that, but you know, there are other serious things going on. His friends are disappearing and stuff, and like the cops just totally ignore that. And then they almost kill the old dude with their damn boat. It's a wonder they even made it to this place alive. Those people, they must have just, that family, it was just there, they just must have pulled them off the street and said, hey, you want to be in a movie? And this is like some of the fakest crying I've ever seen. She's supposed to be upset over her boyfriend, I guess, because he's missing. This movie on YouTube has actually had over 1,000 views on it since March of this year. That reminds me of that scene in Dirty Dancing where she's carrying the watermelon, where Jennifer Grey's carrying the watermelon. This guy is a total asshole. I mean, like, he needs to get a grip. And here's Lukey. Lukey seems like, he genuinely is, upset by the way people are treating him. And this kid, not only is this kid super annoying, but he's a thief as well. He keeps stealing stuff. Yeah, I did notice, TJ, that kid looking at the camera. Oh, Curly Josh, you said Bloodhook TV show. Curly Josh, you say Bloodhook 4 in space. Um, Darren, you say any idea where this was filmed? Beautiful location. I'm guessing somewhere in Wisconsin. I'm not sure exactly where. Um, and Red, you said the cops from Leaving DC were the worst. I don't think I've seen that, so I couldn't comment on those. Curly Jaws, you say Bloodhook 3, you just got hooked, written and directed by Ronnie or you, or John, you say Bloodhook sequel straight to Tubi. Exactly. Or it could go straight to Blu-ray or something. So now this chick is on the lift thing, and I'm guessing she's planning on going out on the raft. It's like, what the hell? Why are you doing that? And she's got her boyfriend's boombox and all that stuff. She's just gonna go out there and there went my light again. I'm gonna just go change it out. Like I said, even though you guys are probably pretty much watching the movie instead of watching that background. Here's this giant fishing lure again. I don't even know what you would use to use that for. What you would catch with that is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes it looks bigger than other times, which is funny too. So anybody got any guesses who the killer is? Of course I know because I've seen this movie. And for those of you that have seen it before, you probably know that guy does have a gun that appears to be real. It's like everybody, why would you feel like you have to cheat? I mean, really. My dad used to go to fishing tournaments too, and they would swear that some people would cheat at those things too. Oh, Curly Jaws, you say, would you check out a Bloodhook sequel if it was made today? Well, I would certainly check it out. I can't guarantee that I would like it, but I would certainly give it a try. TJ, you say, I've seen it, so I ain't going to spoil it, LOL. Yeah, I'm not going to either. Yeah, Jason, I think everybody is pretty much cheating, with the exception of Fenner just mistakenly was able to get this guy's fish that was like dumped out into the lake. And I hear Brandon coming. But yeah, I think pretty much everybody else is cheating. Um, and why they need to do that, I don't know. So here's something I don't understand about this movie, and it's a small thing. So they're weighing the old guy's fish, but um, Fenner, they act like they're like good buds with him and all that stuff, and that he's pretty normal. And then towards the end of it, they're acting like maybe Fenner is the one that's killing everybody. It's like, okay, why did you do a total 180 or 360 or whatever when talking about Fenner? Um, because really, he seems no more abnormal than the rest of these people in this film. Okay, so Bev D is shedding her clothes, and she's gonna pretty much end up like here. She's obsessed with the exercising, but they're gonna end up having sex. But then she kind of rushes Fenner out the door here in a little bit and says maybe she'll see him later. Well, I'm guessing the guy that's her ex husband, the guy that had all the fake assault rifles, um, comes over and she has sex with him. So I don't know why, but this scene is very cringy. Um, I don't, I can't pinpoint exactly why, but like he's massaging her leg and she's like, I like that. And it's like, I don't know, it just makes me feel ugh, something about it. And so that was probably the quickest sex ever. And now she's in a row and now she's like kind of wanting him to leave. It's like, make up your mind, bitch, whether you want to be with him or not. John, you say, I know, but I won't say, ha. Y'all are going to be good. This is like this movie that Steve's watching is the noisiest damn movie I've ever seen. I don't know if it's one of those found footage things or what the heck it is. So, back to the movie. So, things are pretty much falling apart for all these people. And here he is carrying on about like conspiracy theories and stuff. I could see him being on an Alex Jones show or something. I'm only thinking about Alex Jones because Steve just watched some, I don't know, semi quasi documentary on Alex Jones, and it was crazy. This guy would be right at home on his show. And now the old dude seems to have mellowed since he is the one that has the biggest fish, right, or the biggest muskie right now. I could see that guy putting a tinfoil hat on, like on signs. He just seems that off kilter. Jason, you say Bev D has a busy schedule. Evidently so. TJ, you say this or the original Halloween has the shortest sex scenes. Uh, yeah, the sex scenes in Halloween aren't very long either. But I think Halloween's a little bit longer than this sex scene because we don't actually see any of the sex act, and I'm not so sure that I would want to be honest. But I do think we see more of like PJ Soul's character, um, of with her boyfriend a little bit longer than we do the Bev D Finner sex scene. I wouldn't even call theirs a sex scene because we didn't really see anything. Um, John, you say this movie is a bit like Miami Connection in that it's a hidden type of Jim silly but great. Yeah, exactly. Which Steve loves Miami Connection, which kind of makes me wonder why he doesn't like this movie better. Texas, you say you should say to Steve, Steve, for the love of Jesus, is that a porn tape? I don't know what it is. I figure it's some horror movie. Um, it might be. He might be watching one of the Blair Witch Project things because I thought I heard him say something about that earlier. Oh God, here's this kid hanging around Lukey's bait and tackle shop again. See, and there's a whole bunch of like bait buckets, and they look clean. So what the hell happens to them when he gives them to people? There's some back there that look pretty clean too. Lukey trying really hard to be a nice guy and be more of a father figure to this kid than his own dad is. And this guy is like so super whiny. He's gonna be out there crying and cursing and throwing his beer cans around because he can't get his boat to start. And he wants to blame everybody in the world for this freaking boat not starting but himself. Why don't you just cry a little more about it, dude? And here's Finner. I think Finner was going to go do some night fishing. See, he's got a big old lure there, which kind of might make you think he could be the killer. Boy, Bev D gets around, don't she? She must be the musky madness whore or something because every time you turn around, she's having sex. Now Fenner acts sort of disgusted. That's the most disgusted he ever acts in the film. These two don't do a whole lot in the movie. I mean, they talk a good game, but they don't actually do a lot. And there's really this the guy acts like he's really frustrated sexually because she just will not give in to him, and I don't know why. Really, I mean, it almost seems like she's driving him away and driving him towards that other girl anyway. Yeah, oh, Bev Dick. Exactly. That is exactly right. But it don't really sound like Steve's watching a Blair Witch Project thing either. I don't know why this little mask that Steve made won't won't stay tucked in now. It won't. I can't keep it tucked in behind my green screen. So it's almost like she's gonna give in now. What? She didn't have a bra on, and you guys are getting some side boob. So this guy's still trying to get his boat started, and like, does he really think anybody cares? Why don't he just leave the boat there? and get out of the boat and just get his pants legs a little wet and get the hell out of there. Instead of sitting there crying around about it. And then he uses this stupid air horn. I'd want to kill him just for that. So I don't know what Steve's watching, but it is super freaking loud. I'm telling you, if I was doing that while he was doing the stream, he'd be really mad at me. Darren, you say, I guess this could qualify as a camp slasher. Yeah, you could call it that. Jason, you say, very awkward love scene, almost up there with Madman, but not quite. Yes. Um, John, you say, I think this was shot in 85. Yeah, I believe so. So, John, you say, oh, yeah, that's Blair Witch 2016. Well, I've only seen that thing like once. So, I've seen the original Blair Witch more than I have that. So, I forgot how much they screamed on it. Yeah, I'll ask Steve when I get off here, but I'm not angry with him, but it seems like, when he's doing it, if I was blasting something back there in the living room, he wouldn't be too happy with me, I don't think. So now, what the heck's Bev D crying about? I think he's wanting to get back together with her, and she's like, oh, I'm so conflicted. I'm such a whore, is what she should be saying. See, there was another really quick scene, and it didn't really seem like anything happened. He looks very confused. It's probably because he didn't get anything but a little side boob. She probably got him all hot and bothered and then wouldn't put out. Now Bev's in some. What in the heck? She's going to listen to her husband's records and. God. Some of this stuff is so ugly. It's like Steve likes some of this stuff. Like he likes some of the shorts from the 80s and stuff, and I hate some of that stuff. I just think it's so ugly. If that is Blair Witch from 2016, I forgot how very annoying those people were in it. Now, if this was a Friday the 13th film, Jason would be out there ready to get her. So she's going to do the backstroke or whatever the heck she's doing in there. Where is her kid now? Again, she just left the kid, I guess, in the house and went out and took a midnight swim. John, you say it's very loud and crazy. It's not a bad sequel. I didn't remember it being a bad sequel the first time me and Steve saw it, which was at the drive-in in Georgetown. But I guess it's because I'm trying to concentrate on this and I just keep hearing the screaming and stuff coming from back there, and it pulls me out of the film that we're doing the watch along for. Um, John, you say you're a big Blair Witch fanboy, and that's perfectly fine. I tend to every once in a while go back to the original Blair Witch Project, which is the one, that started it all, the one that I have a great fondness for still yet. Dared you say I've seen this cover art for like 30 years, so it's nice to put the film to an image. You say, I'm guessing this was straight to video. Would love to get a hold of a poster. Yeah, that poster would be awesome. TJ, you say one song saves on production value, but that was probably the reason. Plus, it's funny that song keeps showing up in this. That and the I'm going fishing or the fishing for love song. Red, you say a new Blair Witch film is being released. What else can be done? So now the kids are, they're going, at least the cop seems sympathetic to them. Because both their mom and their dad are missing now. And that spinners the end off of his little rod and reel. And this is when around the time that they're getting really suspicious of Fenner. And it's like, I mean, they talk about the mental problems he has, and it's like, how come nobody said anything about this before? And why were y'all so eager to invite him on this trip and all of that? And this was in the time still yet, I guess, when they had CB radios. Ooh, goodness. And believe it or not, we still have approximately 40 minutes left in this film. Any excuse to keep playing this damn song. John, you say it's funny they got so far into the slasher genre. Someone said, "What about musky fever?" That's new, right? Jason, you say there's something very fishy going on for sure. Yes, there certainly is. Um, Darren, you say I hated that last Blair Witch as much as the remake of Evil Dead. Both unwatchable in my opinion. Well, Darren, like I said, I don't know if it's just because if it is indeed what Steve's watching, if it's just because I'm hearing the screaming and the carrying on, and I'm trying to focus on this, and I just keep hearing that is why it's making me agitated, or if it's really that bad. Um, John, you say, I used to never understand as a teen with those talking head docs about how the slasher genre went on and had so much, and now I'm like, yep, there's so many. It's a gigantic subgenre. Exactly. Um, John, you say, I just figured it was maybe 20 movies as a kid. No way, more like 1,000. Red, you say, just finished my spicy sausage sub and I am full. Um, Jason, you say, yeah, at least 1,000, I think. That's just in the 80s. Right. Yeah, the golden age of these types of films. For sure. And now, what's going on with Lukey here? He's like losing his freaking mind here. So is anybody starting to make a connection here with that damn music and Lukey? Oh, Finner just got hooked in the face. That thing looks gigantic now, by the way. Oh no, he lost his ear. It's like Reservoir Dogs. And what is that big tuft of hair on it? It's like he had a hairball on his ear. So, yeah, I'm just going to jump in the lake to get away from old Lukey. Johnny said, do y'all remember all those talking head docs in the 2000s with Ryan Katz and Eli Roth? It was always the same guys in those being the experts. We need a dead pit on them. Yeah, exactly. I think, even though I don't dislike Eli Roth like I once did, um, it kind of got annoying for the same group of people to show up on every damn documentary that they did. Because back when I was growing up, there were also documentaries like that, although not quite as many. But they always have different people doing them. They would maybe interview a lot of the same people, but the people hosting them always seem to be a different group every time, or a different couple of people every time. Darren, you say John Tony Timpone was the worst. John, you say yes, it was always the same shit, and they talked about known stuff. It was like they acted like Wikipedia didn't exist. Jason, you say not a fan of the talking head stuff. Never watched that stuff. And I could see that. I could see people not really caring for that stuff. Um, but a lot of those are early on, not the ones so much in the 2000s, but the ones earlier than that. I would enjoy those, but I totally get what John is saying about that. So I'm guessing that Lukey is like chopping people up to feed to his. He's grinding it up, and then I guess that's what he's feeding, like the minnows and stuff. That's hilarious. Looks like he's not getting much meat. Well, there's a little bit coming out now. He's making him some damn hamburger. Then he's going to get out his coffee, I guess, and drink it. All that stuff's hard work. Grinding up body parts is hard work. You got to have your coffee. Got to get that caffeine in there. Darren, you say if you want to see a kick-ass slasher doc, watch Going to Pieces. Going to Pieces is a really good one, Darren. And John, you say agreed. Going to Pieces is good. Um, TJ, you say, isn't this how everyone gets bait? LOL. Uh, John, you say, yeah, Heather, that's Blair Witch. Now, see, if you can hear that clearly, John, that means he's got it way too loud. Um, Jason, you say, ever seen the corpse grinders where they were making cat food out of bodies in the cemetery and all the cats started attacking Bill? Yes. It's been a while, Jason, but yes, I know exactly the film you're talking about. I'm not sure what that record is over there. It was like kind of lavender colored. Oh, God, that stupid bitch made it back. God. I just can't get rid of her. Even in the throes of her anxiety, she's still trying to steal this guy from his girlfriend. Ugh, I'm sorry I keep yawning, guys. Whew. Mm, Oh, I think that's like a paper thin piece of Finner's ear there. Guys, I'm not going to stop this film because that would mess up the whole sync and everything. But I do have to run to the restroom really quickly. I will try to be back as soon as I can. Y'all just keep watching. I had to go to the bathroom. I didn't stop the movie. Oh, so I made it back for one of the great scenes. I may have missed it, part of it. Did I actually miss the corpses floating and they were on a stringer that like you put fish on? Johnny said, "Well, to be fair, I saw that a month or two back, so it's fresh to me." Um, TJ, you say she's like totally alive. TJ, you say if they ever do another, I know what you did last summer movie, the killer should use the weapon from this movie. Um, yep, you missed that. I always thought that was a very amusing scene, and the idea of putting the dead people on a fish stringer was awesome. Red Red, you say even though I don't like part three, I might watch it on Pluto TV tonight. Now that I think of it. So sorry guys for eating, but I had to get one of my cheese danishes. So they're going back and showing a little bit more of him remembering when he was a little boy. And stuff is kind of starting to be more clear for him. But he's always playing that damn Casio keyboard thing. But now he's trying to make a point now actually because he notices that one particular sound is driving the killer crazy. So when the music whatever music they're listening to, if it hits a super high note, it makes Lukey go crazy and start killing people. Darren, you say this will probably get me back on a slasher kick again. Yeah, I mean, these kind of films will do it. These kids are at least being quiet now. That's the quietest they've been in the whole damn movie. And here, a fake old man is gonna come and tell him a little story. Or add to the story, rather. I think he's just mad he's not going to be able to have sex with Bev D anymore. That's his whole motivation. TJ, you say, by the way, I was thinking what was missing from the mutilator was a flashback from the kid about his mom's death, like the dude here has a flashback about his granddad. Yeah, that would have been cool. Snotbox, LOL, right? Johnny say, LOL, yes, the keynote to the madness. I forgot this part. Jason, you say they should have added some more fishing puns. Yeah, I mean this would have been a prime movie to have like a ton of fishing puns, and I don't think anybody would have been upset over it. Now they're kind of creeping around Lukey's bait and tackle shop here. Actually, it looks like a bait and tackle shack, actually. It's like, what in the heck is he doing? Tasting stuff? That guy looks like he ought to be working at a gas station. It's like they didn't like they just left her and that other chick there with the kids and didn't tell them where they were going. Johnny say, is Lukey Cajun or just weird, that accent? It could be a little bit of both, John. Perhaps we're not supposed to know what he is. Darren said, the Mutilator, that film has an awesome theme song. Um, awesome song that just doesn't fit the film, but it's great nonetheless. I'm glad to hear you say that, Darren, because I've always felt the same way about that song. But I don't think everybody feels that way about it. Steve tends to make fun of that film quite a bit. TJ, you say, I thought it was like a Minnesota type Midwestern accent. Um, Jason, you say, he sounds like Buck Flowers' character from Berserker, where he was supposed to be Norwegian or something. Yeah, exactly. TJ, you say, sorry, honey, you're a new mom with 3 kids. Oh, well, right. Oh, wow. Is that Bev D in the bucket? Well, there's many buckets in there, actually. What the hell? She's out here meditating again. Why is she doing that now? And she's had the same damn earrings on this whole entire movie. Like, she doesn't have another pair of earrings. Uh oh, here comes Lukey. Because, you know, that music is drawing him right to her. He's got to put his rubber gloves on. But it's just so loud that it's almost splitting his head open. Uh oh. Have you ever gotten a fish hook in your hand? Because it does hurt. I've hooked myself a couple of times. Not like hooked myself with the actual rod and reel, but like punctured my skin, my finger or something with those hooks. Johnny say you tell Steve to not hate on fall break. Well, I don't know if he exactly hates it, but he's not a huge fan of it. I will say that. Johnny say any slasher movie with a blooper montage is A plus. Exactly. And TJ, you say chum is just another word for friend. Well, Red, you say lost timestamp. Well, hold on just a second here. We're an hour and 30 minutes in. Um, Red. Now, you guys were about where I was, an hour 29. Jason, you say hour 29, 28. Um, TJ, you say I have, that's why I don't fish, lol. John, you say this is hilarious. Instead of just getting a gun or hitting Luke, he has to take a pause and reflect on his fishing technique to beat that old tackle bait owner. I know exactly. And meanwhile, back at Lukey's bait and tackle shop, they're like freaking wasting so much time. Quick, turn off the lantern. And he went all the way back to the lake house. When if he had just freaking stayed where he was, he would have been closer to his girlfriend to help her. Gotta love horror movie logic. Now he's got to fight with this guy. Johnny said, first time I saw this, I was like, what the hell? Is he training like Karate Kid? Right? TJ, you say, he's fast. Johnny say, haha, he's got to go train and mentally prepare for the final cast and reel. I think that's his dad, and it's like, Dad, I will never get to have sex with Bev D again. Don't you understand? It's a rat turd. The kid's been holding that all this time. No, I'm just kidding. That's what it did look like in his hand, though. That's the actual bullet, I believe, that they were talking about. So we're in the final portion of this movie. Again, I will say that it really doesn't seem like an hour and 50 minutes long. It seems to move pretty quickly. Um, and probably the 93-minute version probably didn't have so many of these talking scenes in it. But I don't believe I've ever seen the 93-minute version. I think that the only version I've ever seen is this hour and 50-minute long one. This almost reminds me of the setup in Porky's. For those of you that have seen Bob Clark's Porky's, when they want to get revenge on Porky. Lukey's really taking his good old sweet time with this one. The others he probably would have done killed by now. And TJ say closed caption was "Look keys, LOL." Johnny said the Blob couldn't catch teens better than Lukey's damn giant hook. Oh yeah, Porky's rules. Yep, it certainly does. But Porky's was one of those movies that had to grow on me. Like the first time I saw it, I wasn't a big fan, but then like I waited a little bit and watched it again. I was like, yeah, this is pretty funny. And we've got about 14 minutes left, so this didn't really seem that long, did it, guys? But I do have to wonder, why is Lukey taking so damn long with her? Okay, so he's finally figured out, all the pieces have come together, and he's figured out what is making Lukey crazy. He's thinking, I know I'm going to have a migraine after this, but I have to get Lukey to lose his mind one more time. Now, I couldn't take this. If somebody wanted to shove me and cram me up in here with me being claustrophobic, I believe I'd just die. Red, you say, I'm sure the short hair brunette female has a lot of roles during the 80s. Probably so. I'm not sure of anything else that this particular gal was on, but I'm sure if I looked her up, maybe I'd find one or two more. TJ, you say, by the way, the VHS was a shorter running time. And see, I never saw it on VHS. Darren, you say, I love all those sex comedies in the 80s. The lemon popsicle films are really fun. John, you say, Wyatt Knight, aka Tommy, is my friend's cousin. He was telling me about his brief career once in Porky's. Really? That is awesome, John. That is really awesome. So this here is another like cringy scene. It's like, why are you even considering this, dude? I just want to hit him over the head with something, and I want to just jerk a knot in her tail because that is just so wrong. His girlfriend's missing, and he's contemplating having sex with that chick, frizzy haired chick. And I guess he's out looking for Lukey. And meanwhile, Musky Madness is going on, and Lukey's just about to take the crown here. That old scene there, sort of very weird, weirdly enough, reminds me of Carrie when Sue Snell's character uh, comes to the prom and then she notices something is wrong, but um, the gym teacher, Miss Collins, doesn't believe her and is like literally pushing her out of the gym doors to get her out of there. And at that moment that the door closes behind Sue, that's when the pig's blood gets dumped on Carrie. So that scene where he's like shoving him to get him away, just oddly enough reminds me of that scene in Carrie. John, you say, yeah, it's random. You say he's retired now, I think. Probably, I would imagine so. Darren, you say, I'm surprised he didn't make it bigger as an actor. He was great in Porky's. I agree, Darren. Miss Ballbreaker, yes. Nancy Parsons in another really great role. She not only did Motel Hell, but she did the Miss Ballbreaker role. TJ, you say, at Red, that actress, Lisa Todd, only did a few movies between 86 and 2012, like 5 or so. So I was a little bit off, wasn't I, TJ? It's like, and here's another weird thing. What in the hell is he doing? Does he just assume his girlfriend is dead? So we've got about 8 minutes left in the film. And it seems like to me that you guys have been enjoying this. I'm glad Darren got a chance to see the awesomeness that is Bloodhook. and it's not over yet, guys. Um, I mean, I guess he was kind of like training to go for the final showdown with Lukey, but um, and I'm sure some of those scenes were tightened up in the 93-minute version as well. So he's back with the boombox. And he had time to change clothes and everything. Because he's got a whole new outfit on from a couple of scenes previously. Ah, Lukey's coming out with his big hulking lure here. And he is pissed. Red Radio said, well, maybe she looks like a famous actress. Darren, you say, I'm liking this a lot. And I'm glad that you are, Darren. This is another reason why I like to do these watch alongs, because it kind of like you said, you had this movie for a while, but you had not watched it. And so I love kind of introducing people to movies like this. And you know, everybody seems to pretty much get enjoyment out of it. Johnny said, I'm a big fan of hers, but do y'all think Jamie Lee got so big after Halloween because of her talent or connections? It's interesting. So many didn't have her career. I think maybe a bit of both. I was going to say maybe a bit of both too, John. Because even Deborah Hill and John Carpenter, mostly Deborah Hill, pretty much said that um, they wanted Jamie Lee because of her connections with her mother. Uh, John, you say, meaning her mom was famous, so it helped. I mean, she obviously was talented herself, right? And her dad was Tony Curtis, too? Yes, Darren. Yes, you are exactly right. TJ, you say, well, Carpenter did hire her because of her parents, but I think she earned her real success. Because if she sucked as an actress, she wouldn't have lasted. And that is correct, too, TJ. So I went away for a little bit. Now he's got all kinds of blood on his shirt. Ooh, that knife looks really sharp. Oh no, not the damn migraine again. Damn kids and your music. Oh no. Uh oh. Well, the boombox almost survived till the end. It's like, wait a minute. Now the cop shows up. Jeez Louise. So now they're leaving and everybody is cleared out. And it's just the three of them. I'm thinking they probably could have made a sequel to this. Lukey could have returned. What do you guys think? There's that damn bullet again. So here's if this had been a Friday 13th film, this would have been the Jason rising up out of the lake shot. So are we going to see Lutke again? Nope, we're not, because we're to the we're to the cast here. So let's see. Um, Jason, you say Kelly Curtis didn't have the same big career, right? And John, you say true. Amy Steele should have had a bigger career. TJ, you say so that was not waterproof. LOL, correct. John, you say ha ha. TJ. TJ, you say thank you, John. Ha. TJ, you said there were more survivors in a Scream movie. LOL. More survivors than a lot of slasher films. John, you say, yeah, easily Zombie Lutke or Lutke's brother Putke. John, you say it'd have been funny. Red, you say films before Halloween. So I hope you guys enjoyed this watch along. I enjoyed watching this again, and I'm glad that Darren is no longer a blood hook virgin, guys. So he has he's officially watched Blood Hook, and I think he enjoyed it. TJ, you say, even though this was cheesy fun, I think Jim Mallon was trying to make a movie that had humor, but wasn't actually a super funny parody movie. I agree. Darren, you say, spoilt seeing this for the first time on Blu-ray. John, you say, I can honestly say I never saw this VHS anywhere. I wish I had. I wish I had too. Jason, you say, that was fun. I really enjoyed that movie. Well, I'm glad you did, Jason. John, you say, yeah, TJ, it kind of reminds me Club Dread or something. So, again, barring anything, like I've said half a dozen times, barring anything health-wise going on with me that would make me feel too bad to do another watch-along next Saturday, I will be doing one for Rocktober Blood. There is a link to Rocktober Blood on YouTube. Also, for those of you that have Shudder, Rocktober Blood is currently on there as an offering. So you could do either or, I guess. Red, you want to know what my favorite horror TV shows are? Mostly the old stuff, like Tales from the Dark Side, the Twilight Zone from the 80s. I even like the original Twilight Zone. You know, that show Monsters. Tales from the Crypt even, which was a little bit later. But I never was like the huge fan of American Horror Story like so many people were. I just pretty much like the old stuff. John, you say, hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Rocktober Blood, I've never seen. Oh, John, I think you are in for a real treat with this one. So I am looking forward to it as well. I've seen it a bunch of times, but that is one movie I don't mind watching again. Johnny said, Amazing Stories is underrated. Amazing Stories is another one that I really like. I had scary episodes at times. Now it's kind of vanished off the earth. Um, Remember Erie, Indiana, too, John? That was another one I remember growing up as well. But well, guys, it has been fun, but I think I'm gonna get off of here for the night. I need to step outside actually and get something in that arrived. Excuse me. And you guys be sure to, if you're interested in, check out my Morbid Beauty Boutique Etsy shop for the new offerings on there. I'm hoping to be adding some new designs here soon. The Little Tony stickers are now up for sale at $2 a piece in case you're interested in those. Um, you have a good night too, Darren. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. Uh, Thank you, John. And I'll see you soon, probably sooner rather than later, because of course I will be doing a Cheese Extreme Wednesday on Wednesday. And who knows what else I may come up with. I may come up with something. Thank you, Jason. You said it was a fun stream. And good night, everybody. TJ, you said, thanks for the fun watch along. Happy weekend, everybody. Well, thank you, TJ. I appreciate it. And with that being said, guys, I am going to skedaddle on out of here, and I will see everybody on the flip side. Good night for now, guys.